Hi, I'm Chris from AirWindows, and hey, you can do this. Check this out. Because this is AirWindows Clip Softly. Here's the deal. I've been developing clip-only and analog simulating slew modifying clippers for some time. But I didn't have a soft clip version of the same thing. And that's interesting because I am using soft clip behaviors in a lot of things, like console and a lot of my plugins. Well, here is a new version of that kind of stuff that I can not only give you, but also use in further things of my own going forward. So future specialized versions of console, for instance, could have this in there as a way of getting a rounder, more analog type tone. But when I say analog tone, what am I talking about? Well, here, what you see here is a track of mine off of my album, Welcome to Free Luna, which some people are still buying. That's very cool. I'm very grateful for that. And Clip Only 2 and Clip Softly. And here's what it sounds like. If I boosted it, we would just be distorting. But what we can do is put on Clip Only 2. I'm going to show a window with all of these available because they are actually, there is no controls to either of them. They're safety clippers. They are going on the output of your mix bus or whatever, and they are there to control overs. Well, here's Clip Only 2. Check this out. 2 bits of gain, and we've got obvious distortion. And of course, since it's Clip Only 2, we can get really severe distortion. What happens if we go over to Clip Softly? Check this out. And then back only to the previous version, Clip Only 2. There's your difference between treble softened hard clipping and treble softened soft clipping. What you're hearing is mostly the bass, because that's a good way to tell what the tone of the clipper is doing, slamming the heck out of Clip Only 2, and we've also got some bright percussion in there, just a bunch of stuff, like this. I've got this going on. And when we run this into the clippers, for the hard clip, it's basically nothing but a digital hard clip, but it is using AirWindows technology, which is open source, so if other people want to use that as well, you got to honor the MIT license, and you can reuse it, you just have to credit. Clip Only 2 is able to give you a brutal digital hard clip, which doesn't make the high-end grating and bright. So that's what that is. That's like gain loudination. That's what you get when you're trying to push levels as hard as possible. It's being played back with bit, shift, gain, taking it down a bit as well. But the difference between that and Clip Softly is when you do a soft clip, same behavior, same ability to cool off the brightness extra, so you don't wind up with a sort of hard edge on the cymbals and things, because they're not all clipping at exactly the same point. They're clipping based on where the signal is going to get to and sort of splitting the difference. It gives you a soft clip onset, and it's also a soft clip exit on Clip Only 2. Well, Clip Softly is that technology developed into the softest of all soft clippings, which is based on a sine function. And that's what you get out of it. I'll show you again the distinction between the two things. Here's your hard clip. We'll switch over to the soft clip. I don't think I have to say much more about that. So people who are interested in Air Windows plugins that are giving you a sort of soft analog saturation for, console desk emulations and things like that, well, the future is looking pretty bright for you. And Clip Softly is open source. It's MIT licensed open source. It's available for AU and VST plugins. I need to talk to somebody who's been trying to reach me about some ports he's doing. It's a very clever fellow, Bacon Paul, who is doing the Surge synthesizer. And he's come up with ways of porting some of my plugins over to things like the Clap plugin format and, in fact, VCV Rack. Because Paul, he likes VCV Rack and likes supporting that project because that is another open source project that's the vision of one person. And I need to talk to him as far as I have promised that by the end of 2022, I will have everything ported over to Clap and be supporting that going forwards. It looks possible, it's just that I have to be able to run the porting process myself, and that's kind of intimidating. But, we can't but try. As far as the rack thing is concerned, I need to talk to him. I have been putting that off because, like I suggested last week, the Chris from Air Windows' family, in a very real sense, is going through some stuff. My lady in Canada is okay, in part because of the generosity of you folks with Patreon. I was able to give her an electric mattress pad because it's freaking 30 degrees below zero up there, and I can't be there right now. I have work to do back here, but we can but try. She is soldiering through bravely, and we are hoping to have a future. We don't all get to have futures. I mentioned that my best friend had gone into the hospital, and I'm afraid he passed away this last Tuesday. So I am trying to continue to work. This is somebody who has encouraged me more than almost anybody to go forth with what I'm doing with Air Windows. And so that's a big loss. And the best way that I can honor his memory is to continue doing what I'm doing. And the best way that I can honor my own need for humanity is to understand I'm not going to be out 100% right away. So what I've been doing is just continuing to work on the stuff that I do out here and studio building. And I hope to start doing more in the way of live streaming and music making. I'm not showing you that today. I was showing a track out of Welcome to Free Luna. But part of the challenge with being Chris is there are so many ideas bouncing around. And one of the things that I learned recently is you don't necessarily get to do all of your ideas. So I got to pick and choose, and I am doing all of the ones I can manage and trying to get a reasonable amount of rest at the same time. And I am happy to say that although I'm not at 100% this week, but I have enough going on that I can bring you Clip Softly. I haven't built it into new plugins yet. I'm working on the Console 8 Lite that I mentioned before. There's a lot of things in the works, as always, but I can give you Clip Softly I can give you Clip Softly today. I've just demonstrated it with a track. If you would like to hear it on different kinds of music, hey, download it and try it on things. Much like Clip Only or Clip Only 2, there is no interface to it. There are no knobs to it. What you do is you hit it with overs. Or you do like I have my gain plugin, and I've just put it into the path, and I'm cranking it by upwards of 2 bits, which equates to, 12, 18, 24 dB. Here, let's find out. We'll do a little bit more. So here is 1 bit. Oh, I just clipped. And that's a good solid 6 dB. And let us firstly fire up Clip Only 2. Four bits, 5 bits, 6 bits. Now, Clip Softly. Have it. So those of you who want like loudness maximizing clippers that have the least amount of grind possible, you might want to describe them as tubiest, kind of roundest sounding clipping. This might actually beat NC17 at this stage. I'm not really sure, but it is there for you, and now that I have it, I can build it into future plugins and see what else I can make out of it. And that's all I've got for today. So I will keep on trying to make better videos and studio build, and I'm going to start sharing more of that going forwards, making, studio streams again, because back in the day when things were really, I was riding high on Air Windows, and sort of, I don't know if I want to call it pre-pandemic, but back when things were really booming, I was heavily into doing live streams, and I feel I can do them better now. So I'll do the best I can with that. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.